Job sits in ashes, exhausted and worn, his body covered in sores, his heart shattered beyond words. But the pain is no longer just physical. Now, the people who were supposed to comfort him are the ones wounding him the most. Job lifts his head and looks at the men who claim to be his friends. His voice trembles, not with anger, but with heartbreak. He says, "You are miserable comforters, all of you." Every word they speak feels like salt in an open wound. He tells them that if their positions were reversed, he would have spoken comfort. He would have strengthened them, not torn them down. But instead, they accuse him over and over again of sins he never committed. Job feels crushed. He believes God has allowed this suffering to surround him like an army. His spirit is broken. His days feel short. He feels like a witness against himself. And yet, even in this pit of despair, Job says something powerful. "Even now my witness is in heaven, my advocate is on high." Job doesn't understand why he's suffering, but he still believes that somewhere, somehow, someone in heaven sees him. He feels like death is near. His strength is almost gone, and the rejection from his own friends makes the burden even heavier. He cries out about mockers, betrayal, and the hopelessness that surrounds him. His eyes grow dim from grief. His friends misunderstand him completely. But Job refuses to lie about his innocence. He refuses to pretend he's guilty just to satisfy their shallow explanations. His honesty becomes part of his worship. Bildad steps forward, frustrated. He tells Job he's talking too much. He insists that the wicked always suffer. Therefore, Job must be wicked. He describes terrifying imagery: nets trapping the wicked, snares tightening, fire consuming their homes, their memory wiped from the earth. Every word is meant to corner Job into guilt. But Bildad's theology is shallow. He sees suffering and assumes sin. He mistakes pain for punishment, something God never told him. Job answers with one of the most powerful speeches in the entire Bible. He says, "How long will you torment me and crush me with your words?" He feels abandoned, isolated, cut off from family and friends. Even children mock him. He feels like his skin hangs to his bones. But then comes the famous declaration of hope. "I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end he will stand upon the earth. And after my skin has been destroyed, yet in my flesh I will see God." Job is in the darkest chapter of his life, but he still believes he will see God with his own eyes. This is not blind optimism. It's fierce, stubborn faith. Zophar speaks again. He repeats the same tired belief. Evil people suffer, good people prosper. He insists Job must be hiding sin. But Job fires back with reality. The wicked do prosper sometimes. They live comfortably. They grow old. Their homes are safe. Their businesses thrive. But Job also knows something deeper. Eventually, every person, righteous or wicked, stands before God. The world is complicated. Suffering does not equal sin, and blessings do not always equal righteousness. Job calls his friends out for oversimplifying God. Eliphaz goes even further. He accuses Job of exploiting the poor, refusing water to the thirsty, and taking advantage of widows. None of it true. Job does not respond with rage. He responds with longing. He says, "If only I knew where to find God, I would go to his dwelling." Job wants answers. He wants understanding. But above all, he wants God himself. He believes God knows the way that he takes, and when he tests me, I will come forth as gold. Even in confusion, Job believes refinement is happening. Job admits he feels terrified of God's power, not because God is cruel, but because Job understands how small humanity truly is. He lists the injustices of the world: oppression, violence, corruption, the cries of the poor ignored by the wicked. He doesn't pretend the world is simple. He wrestles with the mystery, but in all the wrestling, he stays honest with God. Bildad gives a short speech about God's greatness and human unworthiness. It's true, but still misapplied. He uses truth like a weapon, not a comfort. He gives theology without compassion. Job responds with clarity and confidence. He speaks of God's power, the one who stretches out the heavens, quiets the sea, and hangs the earth on nothing. Then Job says something profound. These are but the outer edges of his works. In other words, everything humanity knows about God is just the whisper, the edge, the surface. Job acknowledges that God is bigger, deeper, and more mysterious than his friends can imagine. He refuses their simplistic explanations. He refuses to lie about his integrity, and he refuses to let suffering change who he is. Job still doesn't have answers. He still doesn't know why any of this is happening, but he holds on to three things: his integrity, his hope, and his belief that God is just, even when life is not. This is the faith that survives the fire. Thanks for watching. Please come back for part 3. God bless you.